I was alt-tabbing in and it took too long to load.
That's okay. I sent you another invite.
I got it.
All right, now that we're in, I'll hit play. You'll hit ready, and we'll start matchmaking.
Are we duoed? Or squad?
That's a good question. We'll figure that out.
We will figure that out.
I figured it out
in a few moments.
Yeah, we'll see what's happening. For those of you who might be watching this, probably not at the beginning of the stream, but maybe later on. This is the first Camp Pixel Trip kind of live stream that we're doing, a playcast of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I'm Pasquale. I'm also here with Steve.
Yep. I'm Steven. What up?
He's Steven. For this week, the first episode, I'm going to be your counselor at this camp. And we're going to be talking about two main topics today.
Who wants a big orange 12-inch dildo?
That's okay.
Hell yeah.
I do.
The first topic of which is that there's been some major beef lately among some of the biggest tech giants we have today. We've got Mark Zuckerberg squaring off against Elon Musk, thinking AI is taking over. Zuckerberg says no. The other of which we'll get into a little bit later, actually first, I should say, is going to be AMD. They're dropping the ball with their Vega video cards, and it's just causing all sorts of chaos. I think, Steve, I'll let you take that off because I'm not too familiar with the Vega situation. I bought an RX 580, and I've been pretty good with it. I kind of steered away from Vega, so I'll let you share your knowledge.
I mean, just to start, I have an RX 480. I bought that to replace a 6950, 2 gigabytes at the time, because cards were only 1 gig and 2 gigs at the time, and I spent the extra money to get the 2. It also had a BioFlash switch to change it, so I basically effectively flashed it to, you wanna go here? Yellow dot?
Shit, where are we? Yeah, we'll go yellow dot. Let me know in the jump.
Alright, sorry. So, I bought a 6950, I had flashed it to a 6970 because that's just the kind of shit we do. Alright, we should probably jump now.
God damn it.
I don't think we're gonna make it.
No, we're not.
We'll try. We'll get as far as we can. I readjusted it.
That's okay. But in terms of Vega, what is... you mentioned earlier AMD is completely dropping the ball with the release of this. Like, what has been going on as of late?
So, when I purchased my 480, I knew Vega was coming. I just didn't think it would take forever. A lot of the memes are for, like, wait for Vega, wait for this, wait for that, it'll be fine. We're pretty much alone. There's a lot of people to our west by the school. So we should be pretty good looting these houses over here, and we should probably move east-northeast as soon as we loot these houses.
Yeah, I agree.
Just get away from everybody. Alright, so I bought an RX 480, 8 gigabytes. This is before the miners took over. I bought that card. It was an XFX GTR Black Edition. I got that for $250, which is, you know, MSRP because it's all it's worth.
Yeah.
And I bought that card knowing that it wouldn't be in my... I built a new computer as well. I knew that card wouldn't be in my main computer now, because my old computer was about 10 years old at this point, or almost 10 years old, and or maybe it's like 7 to 8 years old. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. And I was gonna put the 480 in my old computer because that makes sense. You know, you buy a mid-range card for an old Super Beast computer, and it's still probably Beast because that 6950 was showing its age in Overwatch. It was showing its age in Rocket League. It was showing its age.
Right, it's just that time, you know, it was getting to that point.
It was just that time. The 6950 still works. It just can't perform at the level I'm used to.
Right. And
that's okay. It's okay for that kind of stuff to happen. Things get old. I had that card since I built the computer. I'm in the camp of if you spend a lot of money on something, on computer parts, they will last you a hell of a lot longer, which I don't think anyone can argue. So I was waiting for Vega, and sometime in March, I think AMD had a presentation where they were going to talk about Vega, and instead they just talked about like VR for an hour and a half, and all they did was say that, oh, Vega's official name is like VX Vega. And that was, I guess, the spice in the cream they were talking about, and it just made a lot of people angry. I was pretty angry. So I'd watched this whole event live, and I was listening to their video card designer Raja just talk about this for a long time. The VR aspects of this are very cool. I appreciate that they are thinking very forward about this. I do not appreciate how long we've had to wait for this. A lot of people thought we were going to get this in the spring of 2016, and here we are entering pretty much August now, and we have Vega FE, which is not a good product. It's just not. It's not even good for mining either, so I don't know who AMD thinks is going to buy it, because the product's bad. The power usage is up. It's not better than a 1080. I don't think it's better than a 1080 Ti. Now, granted, it's a prosumer card. It's for people who are maybe crunching data sets or AI learning, deep learning, VR. There's a lot of other aspects that a graphics card could do that I'm just not familiar with. But the RX Vega, which is the gaming Vega, all they've done is blind tests where they have two computers. They'll have a GTX 1080, or sorry, they don't say what NVIDIA card it is. It's a NVIDIA card with a G-Sync monitor, and then there's a Vega card. I don't know which of the three it is, and a FreeSync monitor. And whenever asked questions about it, AMD says that the monitor and the graphics card is $300 less than a comparable NVIDIA card and G-Sync monitor, which has everyone scratching their heads. There's a backpack in here, PQ. Which has everyone scratching their heads saying, why are you talking about a monitor and a graphics card and not just a graphics card?
Right.
And the reason for that is FreeSync is kind of like an open source syncing of your GPU with your monitor's frame rate with the game's frame rate. So if the game runs at 75 frames, your monitor will run at 75 hertz. It sounds super simple. You know, it's a good concept. That way you don't get screen tearing, you don't get weird artifacts and all that. But what I don't get is just this unwillingness to engage the people trying this, and they're like, hey, what's this and this about? And they're just like, oh, what card do you think runs smoother? That's not how you test a graphics card. You put it, you build a test bench, you have it, you run its paces through games, you do that kind of thing. I just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask too. Like, I haven't seen any personally, but I don't think we've seen any real benchmarks from this. We haven't seen a lot of AMD other than like, Vega's coming. I bet you guys can't wait to get your hands on this. And everyone's like, yeah, I think. We're not really sure what we're getting into, but I guess we're excited. And people are just kind of left empty-handed almost, I guess you could say. Whereas,
yeah, very, very much so. Because if you have good products, you would be showing it off like they are with Ryzen. Ryzen is one of the greatest things ever. Let's even break it down between like AMD products. This is right up there with when was it the Athlon came out?
Yeah,
and
I think
it was
so.
It was competing against it was like early 2000s, like 2003, 2004. AMD came out with processors that just like stunned the whole market and just dominated and just proved you could do more with less and all that kind of shit. And Ryzen's doing that. Like, their R3s came out today. Today is 7/27, and their R3s are gonna kill the i3. They're just destroying it in price, in functionality, like across the board ass whooping.
Yeah, and
And
do
then
they
you have
use the same
and they're
AM4 socket, do you know?
Yeah, it uses the same AM4 socket, which means someone could buy like a micro ATX or ITX board, and could grab an R3 as like a starter CPU, and then they can just upgrade it forever. They can go to an R5, you have. I think you have the 1600.
Yeah, I went with the 1600, but yeah, the AM4 is just it's one of those things, like, you just have a feeling it's going to be around for a while. And it's really just going to be this great platform where people can just buy one CPU and just keep moving and moving up. So yeah, like you said, like, processor-wise and CPU-wise, like, AMD's just killing it. But then they're kind of dropping the ball on this whole Vega thing, and, you know, I remember you were telling me about Vega, like, dude, Vega's coming soon, don't build your computer yet. And then I got push come to shove, and I'm like, just, Vegas aren't there, I know nothing about it, like, what the hell am I waiting for? Ended up just biting the bullet with an overpriced 580 thanks to Bitcoin miners.
And Ethereum, because those assholes gotta ruin everything. And so I've been following Vega for a long time because I root for AMD, not because sometimes their products are better, but it helps introduce competition, and Intel can't rest on its laurels. I mean, look at the whole X299 platform, where it's a disaster. And every single tech critic out there is like, what did you do? You have this Frankenstein platform where certain motherboards support certain features of certain CPUs, but not because they're using this one platform for a gigantic range of CPUs that don't have anything in common. And that unity isn't there. But with AMD, they have this huge unity of what they want to do with their CPUs. They know exactly what they want to do with their CPUs. And then you look at their GPUs, and they just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I love I really do love my 480, and I think you really like your 580.
Yeah, definitely.
I also think that in terms of mid-range cards, these cards are amazing. There's a reason why miners like these cards. There's a reason. They're power efficient. They're very powerful performance to watt wise, and there's just a lot about AMD mid-range cards that are really great. They are really great cards if maybe you don't have a lot of money to upgrade, and you know, maybe it's been a couple years, maybe your last card was a 6000 series like mine, or even a 7000 series, or your old X290 something or whatever. I don't know those generations that too well. That died, and it gives you. It's really easy to leapfrog using AMD mid-range products.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they just, like you mentioned, they appeal to that consumer. No, I've got one, and I've got bandages too.
Yeah, I don't have any bandages, but I have a ton of everything else.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of what they do and for PC gaming accessibility, is just great because, you know, even still, like I started sourcing the parts for my computer right when, you know, all this cryptocurrency mining really took off, and it was impossible to find something, and mid-range cards were closer to the price of a Titan anyway. And it's just, you kind of rely on AMD just to, like, get things going, you know? We're not all millionaires gamers, we want to play games.
No,
so,
and unfortunately, I've been waiting for the top end, because the 6970 card, like the 5000, like the 5970 was an amazing card. That was a card that just broke the rules on what AMD could do with graphics cards. And then the 69, same thing, the 6970, there's an AKM in here if you need it.
Ooh, I've already got one. And I got a coat.
Alright, well, I'm going to take the ammo.
It's gray.
Ooh. And it really broke the rules on what AMD has ever done before in the graphics card space.
And now they're breaking our hearts a little bit.
And now they're just, everything about it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Oh, we got a car coming by.
Yeah, I hear it too.
They're right outside.
They're going up the hill to the building we were just at.
All right, then let's book it. Let's book it.
No, they're shooting east. We don't have to worry about them.
Oh, they're shooting east. All right, there's like a whole bunch of stuff in here to loot. All right, they're lost.
Yeah.
Lots of helmets, lots of ammo. I don't have any 9. I don't have a gun that uses 9mm, so I'm not going to pick up 9mm ammo. Yeah,
what do you think we should start waltzing over?
And even though I'm still waiting on technically Vega because I'm not in this 480 is doing exactly what I bought it for.
Whoop, sorry,
I bought
closed the door on
it
you.
so that's cool. I bought it to hold me over until Vega, supposedly.
Yeah.
And if Vega wasn't the best card, I might go with probably a 1080 Ti. Just I'm in the camp where I will spend a lot of money at once to not spend money again.
Uh-oh, you still with me? I think I lost your sound. His character's moving. I don't know where he's going. Maybe if I talk over the game. Steve, can you hear me? Steve. 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 Alright, I guess I'm gonna follow him to the next save point. So we can finish this. But yeah, I think both of our perspectives are just we've kind of both been waiting, keeping Vega in our back pockets for building a computer, and we just haven't seen that much. At this point, I'm wondering if they were kind of forced to build Vega. You see the Ryzen's 5 and 7 came out to huge success. They've got a lot of. Oh wait,
So
there you are.
So I'm on my phone. My USB slots crashed because the lights are out on everything, but my monitor and OBS is still working. So I'm alive. So
Yeah, I'm still following you.
I'm just actually gonna keep running forever because I was running when my computer died. So I'm gonna keep running until you kill me or I die to radiation.
I'm not gonna kill you.
You're not gonna kill me? Because I'm just gonna keep. My character's literally gonna keep running.
Yeah, he really is just going. I can't really explain it.
This is really funny.
Are you watching it?
I'm watching it right now.
Should I kill him?
Well, the ocean's getting close, so if you kill me, try to do it with a silenced weapon if you have one.
This is such an old Yeller type of situation.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I have to
is
quietly
100%.
put you down on the
Like,
coast.
like my mouse lights went out, my keyboard lights went out, my
Oh,
webcam
Jesus.
light went out. The only light that's on still is my headset, but my headset died. Like I wasn't getting audio from it. This might be a BIOS problem. I might have to just update my BIOS. I've been like against it, but that's another computer talk for another day. But until I die, until the end of this game, like I can stay on Discord. Like I'll still stay here.
Yeah, and
still
I'll let you run into the ocean. You're getting close.
I see it. I'm like right there.
I'm curious to see what happens. Oh, yep, he's going.
I'm swimming.
He's swimming.
He's swimming. I wish this didn't happen. I think this might be a BIOS problem.
Oh, boy.
I'll have
sorry.
to try and fix it. You are a terrible shot.
Can't hit you.
No,
My
you can't.
reticle's right over you, and it's just not hitting you.
You're not hitting me.
I don't understand. Well,
And the
I'll let
funny
you
thing is I'm
swim
still
away.
I'm still getting game updates. Like I can see people who are dying and shit, but I have no control because my peripherals have died.
Well, I'm gonna let you keep swimming. It's been good knowing you. Okay, I'm gonna move
Yeah.
on.
I have a ton of loot on me too, which is probably the best part.
That's alright. I found a motorcycle, so I'll make something work.
When I die, I can switch to your view. But right now, I'm just swimming in the ocean.
Yeah. I just see your marker, and
But
you're
you
just
know
getting
what,
further
I'll
away.
use this moment to take actually a quick bathroom break. But I will be back, and hopefully I'm dead, and I can watch you, and then I'll restart my computer.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. guess I'll keep trucking on in his absence. I hear myself in the background because I guess he left his phone on his desk. Let's see what's going on in this little shipping crate area. Oh, fuck. This isn't good.
Wow, I'm still swimming.
I started getting hunted down, so I had to stop.
Yeah. It
So
sucks because there's only 28 other people left. You and I have some really good gear, and then there's me.
you're just swimming away.
I'm just swimming away.
So one thought I had before, actually no, after your mic cut out and we couldn't hear you anymore, was I'm wondering if AMD is almost forcing Vega out. Because they have the Ryzen CPUs coming out, and at the same time, maybe they're looking to reclaim some of that healthy competition between them and Intel, like back in the day, like you mentioned the old, like back when the Pentiums were still getting big. They both had graphics cards. It was like the Intel NVIDIA combination versus like the AMD combination for GPUs and CPUs. So I'm wondering if they almost like someone was twisting their wrist a little bit, like just release a video card too, get something out there, and it just kind of suffered as a result, you know?
All right, I'm finally in the blue.
Are you?
Yeah,
Oh.
I finally swam out. Well, the world's shrinking, and I just slammed into it.
Yeah, you're you swim as far as you can swim.
Yeah, I'll die eventually. It's only actually the second switch, so you're seeing my health drop. But there's either two things. Either AMD is so confident but so worried that NVIDIA is going to just release like a 1090 card at any minute, like, oh, here's another souped up card just in case AMD did do something. Kind of like Intel did, but NVIDIA is smart. NVIDIA really has, I got to give it to them. They really don't make mistakes.
No, they don't.
And that's not a problem. The problem is how much they charge for cards, but they never really make mistakes. So AMD could be just very scared that another NVIDIA card's going to come out, because when they were talking, you know, the Mad Vega game, everyone was expecting GTX 1080 power for like $300, maybe. You know, ESRP like 300, maybe 350.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna turn my computer off. Maybe $350 for basic entry Vega. Particularly since we know there's going to be 3 flavors. And what happened was we got another Fury where the card, I have a feeling in the beginning, the card isn't terrible, and with drivers it will get better. But as you mentioned, it's possible they just pushed this out. Like this was maybe like a beta thing they were thinking about. And they were like, you know what? We just need to do it.
Yeah.
Because Raj, who they brought back to help with this whole thing.
By the way, you finally died.
I'm here. I hear you.
Well, your character's dead. Your character's moved on.
Yeah, my character. Sorry, my character died. Yes.
Yeah, and we've got 15 alive.
It's fuck, man. That could have been so good. It's possible that. I have a feeling that Raj actually never worked. Like, he wasn't part of the Vega creation team. I have a feeling when he was brought back, this was already in development, and he's like, I just got to make the best out of a bad situation.
Right.
Because on the roadmap, AMD has a card series called Navi, Navi. Now that he's been working with from start to finish. And I have a feeling that's the card that might be what everyone's kind of placing the Vega hopes into.
Yeah, and it could be. And one interesting dynamic, I think, which is important for PC gamers as a whole, is this whole idea of almost like not even just crowdsourcing or crowdfunding anymore or early access, but PC gamers can't get enough of getting excited for something before it releases. We're even playing an example of it right now. We're playing a game that sold like 5 million copies since it's released, like a month and a half or 2 months ago.
And it's still in early access.
Yeah.
It's not. This game is buggy as shit. There's a lot of weird thing, and now that we're in the age of everyone recording, it's gotten really weird. Like, people just do weird things. You just see weird things happen.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if through all of this, AMD kind of took a calculated risk in saying, you know what, let's ride the hype train a little bit. Let's see if we can put this Vega out there. Let's see what the expectations are. And then kind of move in that direction of whatever the hype's going to be.
Is it more power? Is it cost efficiency?
Exactly.
Is it raw power, like sucking up electricity and pumping out, the FPS?
Right.
It's a mystery. It comes out in 3 or 4 days, and we have next to nothing on it. We know how many cores it has. We roughly know what the memory speed is, what the bus speed is. Like, we have vague details that you can use to guess a character, but we have absolutely no clue how it works.
Yeah.
Because the FE version is not for games. It's not a gaming card. The drivers for it aren't meant for games.
Right, and
It's
there
meant
are
for
like
professional
high-end
applications.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are high-end like for just video production and graphic design. They do have those, but that's
like
not what they're playing this off as.
The NVIDIA Quattro series has always been a designer.
Oh my God, there's 7 people left. Sorry.
Prosumer. Wow, that's amazing.
I'm sitting in a shipping container.
Prosumer kind of card, and no one cares about the graphical power of running, Doom and Battlefield 1 on a Quattro card.
Right.
But for whatever reason, whether it's a marketing issue, whether it's just a communication issue, AMD has just not done a very good job. And if it's a bad product, I agree with you. They'll probably go, you know what? This was a test. This was a very expensive test. We wanted to see at what performance per cost and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, they're using a new memory type. They're using high bandwidth memory 2. It's very expensive to produce, and it could very well be the future of graphics cards. Right. It could very well do that. But we're not at the future. We're in the now.
Yeah, and I guess kind of while we're closing up, this portion of what we're covering, do you think this is a bad thing? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think AMD will kind of learn anything from the whole Vega flop and kind of pick up the pieces and move on?
I have a couple points. I think that this isn't Raja's fault at all. I don't think anyone should blame him. I do think you can blame the marketing department on this. And I hope they do learn something from this, because NVIDIA doesn't have these problems in the graphics card sphere. Intel recently has had a lot of problems in the CPU sphere. I think it will be a learning point. I think a lot of people are going to learn where the current market is. I think in terms of the future, a lot of people, because there's going to be about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years before Navi comes out, and maybe somewhere between 8 and 14 months before Volta, which is the next NVIDIA generation after Pascal, comes out. And I think I think by then, after a couple of months of driver updates and we'll seeing where we are, Vega could be very attractive. It might not. It could. I'm actually more curious to see what the high bandwidth memory 2 does in terms of games. All of the tests, of course, shown by AMD, it looks like they can get away with a lot less memory just because of how fast the new memory is and the brand new architecture they're using. The tests made it look like that high bandwidth, like 2 gigs of high bandwidth memory can do the job that 4 to 6 of traditional, I think it's like GDDR5 can do.
Yeah, we're on 5 right now.
Yeah, and I think the Pascal cards are using GDDR5X, I think, which is, by the way, just as expensive to produce as the HBM2. The issue is there's only like 2 people making that type of memory, the HBM2. There's only like 1 or 2 companies. Oh no! I can't see what's happening. I have to quit the game.
I was sitting in the shipping container, and some guy just knew I was there, turned the corner and immediately shot. But we're ranked 3 out of 49, even though we didn't do anything.
Wow. All right. Well, when you're back to the menu screen, I'm ready to go.
Okay. And yeah, I guess we'll wrap this portion up. I totally agree with you. I think it makes sense for AMD to kind of let this one fall flat on its face and be okay. Why would they build a direct competitor to NVIDIA's T80, or like, you know, the 1080s and the 1080 Ti's? It doesn't make sense for them long term. So I think this is going to be kind of a ploy for them. There probably won't be any pieces to pick up. This is probably a strategic move by them just to kind of let it go and just see what happens. And yeah, they'll pull through. We'll see something big for them probably in the next year, I would say. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, I'm not counting them out. You can't have the amazing success that the Ryzen launch has done.
Yeah.
They're the Threadripper, epic for the servers, the R7s, the R5s, the R3s. They get it. And you know what? That should be evidence enough to trust them even when they fail. Which, as of now, it looks like Vega, for all intents and purposes, is going to be a failure. But you learn more. Yeah, you learn more from failure. Just for now. It's not permanent. And I'm not a fanboy of anyone in particular. I think blind allegiance is bad for the consumer. I think it's okay to have favorites. I think it's okay to be like, you know what? This generation was AMD. This generation was Intel. This was NVIDIA. This was AMD.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And you know what? And if Vega, whatever the 3 variants are, don't suit my needs, maybe they're too expensive, maybe the benchmarks don't work, I'll just get a 1080 or 1080i. It's not... because I have that choice. And it might also force price cuts, which could be a thing as well.
Yeah,
I could maybe get 1080 performance for $50 to $100 cheaper just because Vega's out. And since I waited, I get the benefit of that.
Right, it's all about good competition. And speaking of, we gotta switch over to our next topic.
Yeah.
I've been thinking this is juicy. I wish there were more memes about this.
There's not enough memes.
There really aren't. So, for those of you who haven't really known or heard of this person, Elon Musk is the owner of Tesla, the man behind SpaceX, who's putting...
started PayPal.
Yeah, he's putting commercial in spaceflight. He's doing crazy things that are amazing things. He's currently... Apparently, he got approved to build a pipeline between New York City and D.C.
The Boring Company. You want to head to my blue dot, Sunken Village?
Yeah, I'm down.
Alright, cool. Alright, 3, 2, 1, jump out the plane. The plane, boss, the plane. Oop, we got a lot of people here.
But yeah,
head closer to the river.
Closer to the river, alright. But yeah, I think it's very safe to say he's definitely one of the great futurists of our times. It's exciting, and recently he's had some very scary concerns about artificial intelligence, and he has kind of put this red flag up saying AI is going to be the greatest risk to the human race very, very soon, and it's something that we all need to be very vigilant about. We need to have the government legislature come into play right now. And then Another tech giant you may have heard
We
of.
have people in the village.
Yeah, but they're not as cute as me.
I'm saying
Stuck
you
in
and
a
I
tree.
need to find guns because
in a
there
tree.
are at least 4 or 5 other squads here.
They're the village people.
Yeah, they are the village. YMCA.
But yeah, we have Mark Zuckerberg.
People already have guns, and I have a backpack.
I've got my pants on. Founder and CEO of a little company called Facebook that came back
Tiny company,
out.
small indie company.
Yeah, small, low key on the DL. Came out and said, "You're wrong." He said, "No, artificial intelligence is not something we desperately need to worry about." And
you have that backwards. Zucky was the one
yeah, sorry,
freaking out about AI. Which, if you think about it long term.
Well, no, it was Musk. Musk said AI needs to be regulated now before it gets out of control. Zuckerberg's kind of just like, no, like, relax, dude, chill. It's not that big of a deal. But the beef of this comes from Elon Musk, who tweeted back at Zuckerberg and said, "You don't know what you're talking about," basically.
I knocked this guy out with a pan.
Nice.
Got him with the pan.
But yeah, it's sparking a lot of like camp Facebook, camp Tesla, kind of back and forth, which is kind of funny. And it's starting this conversation between like a lot of people saying like, what the hell was Elon actually talking about? And other people are even arguing we don't have true AI yet, so is this something we need to worry about? And I'm a bit mixed. I'll be honest. I want to take one side, but I don't think I can right now.
I agree.
Star.
I also think there's so many unknowns about AI, because if I say AI, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to me?
Right.
AI could be, computers running stock trades faster than humans, which they do. They do it already. They are much better at trading. They trade faster because they're AI. They're programmed to do that. That's just how they function. It's just we built them to do this. It's
Right.
just the way it is. Wow, there's a lot of gunfire in this village.
Yeah,
But
I
I'll
don't
have
see
a
anybody.
revolver to frying pan. And it's just that AI could be anything. It doesn't have to be.
It could even be artificial.
Yes, it
Most importantly.
AI could be all right, here's an example, or a really good example. The people at Lego are so efficient in their processes that, well, we're gonna get firebombed too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang in this house.
Are so efficient with their processes that a human does not touch any of the pieces until you open it up. So when you buy a Lego set and you touch those pieces, that is the first time human hands have touched a Lego. That Lego.
That's pretty amazing.
That's incredible. That is amazing. But you know what? It's not because of computers. It's because of just good design. So are people worried that good design is just going to mean less people? Is it going to mean... It mean anything, really.
Yeah.
What are... It doesn't... Like, it gave me... Like, that's what... Like, do you think AI is just going to replace every single factory job?
I'm going to start making my way over here.
Yeah, you're just going to have a computer that knows what to do. There's a lot of book bags and...
Yeah, I need a book bag at least.
There's a book bag and a lot of level 2 stuff.
Nice.
I have a shit ton of 45 ammo if you find any. There's a couple pistols in the house I'm in, as well as a frying pan.
All right. I'm booking it.
I'm so excited. I got my first frying pan kill.
That's something.
I have it recorded too.
Even better. But I was listening to another podcast. I'm sure you know the name Leo Laporte from Tech TV. Remember that guy? Yeah, he does This Week in Tech. And they were talking about this, and they were kind of twisted a bit about what Mr. Musk was saying, because they're saying, like, one guy was actually saying AI is not something we have right now. What we have right now in a very useful form is machine learning. And a lot of people
Yes.
don't realize machine learning is completely different from AI, because machine learning, you're you're writing code, you're writing algorithms, and you're basing it off a set of data. Say, oh, are we getting firebombed again? It doesn't say that.
We have to. We're gonna not in 30 seconds because the blue's gonna be probably huge on our side.
Yeah, but we gotta get in there.
In about like 1 or 2 minutes, we're gonna have to boogie.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they're just kind of like.
Your gun use.
I have an AK, I have a SCAR, and a revolver. Do you need anything?
I have an ump, but I can give you some ammo from the 7.62.
I should be good. I've got like 60 rounds.
Okay, because I'm using that in my revolver, but I'd rather use it in something else.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
But I think this is kind of where some of the shit talking probably originated from, just in the differ of ideas between Zuckerberg and Musk, because, you know, Elon Musk might be talking about, he may be talking about that whole killer robots thing, which I think is hysterical. I'm always going to love Terminator. But yeah. I think Zuckerberg probably interpreted it as just some kind of advanced learning instead. And I think, no, I have it the other way around. I'm sorry. Zuckerberg might be thinking Musk is talking about killer robots, when Musk is actually talking about how deep learning and eventually like dynamic artificial intelligence will replace people. And the threat of having such advanced machine learning to replace jobs is very real. But I don't think it's going to be a wash like he says. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
I think.
Do you want to head out the back door and swing around, or
I'm
okay?
A front door kind of guy. I'm back in the house. I lagged. Whoop, jumping around a bit. I think I'm going outside.
You are.
Alright. You're my eyes and ears.
I don't know about ears, but I'm certainly your eyes.
Whoop. Yeah. I thought I jumped over that wall, and now I'm not.
And also think about the business models.
Right.
AI,
two completely different things.
Deep machine learning is very good for Facebook, because then they can use it to better mine data, they can sell better to advertisers. There's a lot Facebook can do with deep learning, and Tesla with their self-driving car, there's a lot they can do. But in terms of who's better for what, deep learning's way better for Facebook. In terms of being responsible with technology, Elon Musk seems to be the guy.
Right.
He seems to understand the role technology has to play in our lives. He's the one trying to commercialize spaceflight. He's trying to start the Boring Company, so you can get in like those little bank tubes, and you can get launched from DC to New York in like 10 or 20 minutes.
Just like Futurama.
Just like Futurama.
And yeah, and I kind of agree the more I think about this and the more I read both sides of it. I don't know if I can completely trust Mark Zuckerberg, and it's not just that Facebook has all of our data that we would ever want, ever. But I think that they've had a lot of scrutiny surrounding their practices with data and the way they're managing their search engines to display certain content. There was that whole thing around the 2016 election where
they were mining people's data, they were hiding articles, they were preventing people from opposing views from seeing each other.
Yeah, and I don't know if there was as much
they were doing a lot of weird things. There's doors open on that building to our southeast.
Ooh. Yeah,
All I have is an ump and a revolver.
I don't think anything that Facebook is doing is intentional or malicious in any way. I think that they just might not be putting too much forethought into what they're doing, because Facebook is built to favor likes, to favor comments. So like the more something likes and gets comments on an interaction, the more it's shown to people who might not normally look at it.
Oh, we got a car nearby.
Oh. So every time you comment or have an angry reaction on your Aunt Margaret's pro-Trump Facebook post, that's actually encouraging it. That's actually helping it, and people don't realize that. It's not Facebook hiding it, it's just Facebook doing what Facebook does. Which is connecting
people through their algorithm.
Yeah, and it's just, the name of the game is just interacting. I think just given the
positive or negative doesn't matter anything to them.
Exactly.
interactions do.
That's why I always approve any spam comments we get on this channel.
There are always
Because
music. There are music channel comments lately. Did you notice that? We went from like, hey, like I can get you, like I can build you websites, to like, hey, listen to this music.
yeah, we're moving up in the world. People want us to use their SoundClouds, or whatever that means.
Oh, we got gunfire to the southwest.
Yeah, we got pops. So yeah, Facebook's just doing what they're doing, but I think it's the lack of forethought and responsible planning that kind of concerns me a little bit too. But that doesn't mean to say I completely agree with Elon Musk either, saying AI is like the biggest threat we have. I think he might be a little bit out there too. Maybe it does cost, I think they were saying around 7% of jobs in the U.S. are actually just truck drivers, like commercial 18-wheelers and commercial truck drivers.
Yeah, and they're gone. What are those millions of people to do?
But so here's the but. Not only do we need people are going to have to write and program that deep learning, that ability for a car to drive itself across the country. Not only on top of that, we're going to need people behind QA. We're going to need people to just black box test it, just manual regression-based testing for the software over and over. And if these vehicles are, manless, they can run almost indefinitely. They're going to be so run into the ground mechanically, we do need more people to actually take care of them properly. Along with that, you're looking at safety, you're looking at improvements in safety regulations. If we're not driving the trucks, we're doing everything around the trucks, which I think is exciting. It's kind of like a natural progression toward a higher skill set among the workforce rather than just sitting behind a wheel. But I'm not going to knock that because I've driven long distances for work before. It takes skill.
Yeah.
But it's going to open up avenues for those people who were truck drivers to be like, guess what? You're going to work in software now. You're not going to be driving behind a car, but you're going to help us develop the car. Oh, you're so far away.
Well, I found a 4x scope for your AK, buddy.
Oh.
And I have a bunch of attachments for stuff.
I'm on a bridge. I'm going to die.
I'm going to swim across. I got time. We got time.
Okay. I'm going to take.
We're only maybe 400 or 500 meters away.
Yeah, we're not too bad.
I mean, yeah, and also, how about this? What about all the cab drivers? What
Exactly.
So, what's going to happen when Uber just uses autonomous driving cars? Are people going to use autonomous driving cars? I mean, here's something I've thought about that is going to change. If you have a self-driving car, and let's say you live in the city, you don't need the car to be in the city, do you? No, you just need it to be in a garage that has a hookup so it can get power.
Yeah, or it needs to just be where you are.
Yeah, you can program that car to just show up at your house or your apartment when you need it to. It doesn't have to at any point be in your neighborhood. It could be across a bridge. It could be somewhere else. It could be in a completely different place.
Right, but just like Google, when you wake up in the morning and Google says, hey, it's going to take you 23 minutes to get to work instead of 19, that could be the car. The car shows up every time, or the same time every day to take you to work, and that's just how you do it.
Yeah.
I guess we might be getting sidetracked from the drama. We got to stay on the drama.
Self-driving cars is like something I think about all the time.
No, and it's super busy.
I love the idea of self-driving cars. To me, is so cool. I like the idea of reclaiming all of the roads in cities. Me and PQ are currently based in the Philadelphia, Delaware Valley region, and the Pope in, I think, 2015 came to Philadelphia.
Oh, that shit show.
And in preparation, they had shut down a lot of roads, but a lot of businesses stayed open. So what did they do is they just kind of reclaimed all that road that was closed, and it was amazing. The feeling of being in a major metropolitan city and just walking in the road, like there was cafes, people were playing music, that people were drinking and having a good time. It was such a different event, like a community. It felt like a community because everyone was just there.
Yeah.
Everyone was outside. Everyone was talking to each other. And imagine if the city was always like that. And I bring that up is because Paris for a few weeks will do that every year. They will just have no car days where you're just not allowed to have a car in a certain part of the city.
Yeah, get these bandages. I already picked some up.
Yeah, I need some. You just can't do that.
But yeah, but what I'm getting at here, I guess, going back to Mr. Musk and Zuckerberg, who's right and who's an asshat in this situation? Who do you think?
I mean, in terms of...
I'm lagging, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. My instinct is to say Elon is currently in the right. I say currently because as of now, AI is such a weird term, AI, artificial intelligence. And going back to the definitions of what AI is, and maybe it's just communication between the two. Maybe someone thinks it's deep learning and someone thinks it's autonomy. It is like an Ultron kind of thing.
Right.
It's
Terminator going back in time to kill your mother, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors here that we just can't like determine.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to give you the 4x scope before you wander off too far.
You can't stop me. But actually, in this situation, while I do appreciate kind of like the forethought that Musk is putting into the whole situation, I think he's kind of being an ass here. I think it's fair to say he's kind of just being like a dick. I think we have a lot more pressing issues than AI. Yeah. I think what he's getting at...
That's Silicon Valley for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, I'm looking forward to moving there probably in the next couple of weeks. But even I'll admit, the tech world is kind of like in its own little space. While AI is going to be something that we have to worry about and we probably should keep in our back pockets, I don't think we're at the point where we'll be like, oh God, we're all going to die. You know, this is exactly what's going to happen. It's like Terminator. It's 1982, and my mother, Sarah Connor, she hasn't given birth to me yet, but I sent my first most trusted general back in time to protect her. It's not that. Anyone who's programmed any kind of like machine learning knows it's just an absolute pain in the ass to get it to do what you want, let alone to go rogue and do something completely different. So
yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process is. It's gonna kill everybody.
Yeah,
you might
want to get out of that house
not even close
and into my car, baby.
Hold on, there's a jacket here.
I'm gonna back this dune buggy up to the house.
All right.
Let's go, baby. It's tool time.
Oh yeah, it is. Head north. North.
Yeah, put a marker down.
There we go.
All right. But yeah, I mean, maybe if we had some kind of functioning version of AI, but I don't think we have it yet. I think it's going to be a while before we see something that's truly dynamic and we say it's like it has that level of
autonomy.
Oh,
this is a bad spot. Keep going.
Yeah. Because all we have is just machine learning and predictive modeling, and you know, while it's not great,
you want to use these tree line? I like this tree line.
I kind of like this building.
I don't like the buildings though, man. It's hard. It's easy to get trapped in them.
Yeah, but they're trapped in there with us. We can do the tree line if you want.
Not this one. The one behind us.
Oops.
That's not good.
There we go.
Alright, right here. Alright, I'm gonna drop the 4x scope for you.
Ooh, thank you.
I mean, I don't need it. I mean, do you have a red dot sight at all, or...?
I've got a red dot sight for my scar, if you need that.
Take the 4x scope, keep your red dot. I mean, I have an ump and a shotgun and a revolver. I don't have terribly good weapons.
Do you want the scar instead?
No.
Sure?
I'll keep the ump and the shotgun.
Okay.
There's only 14 other players, so I think we're doing okay.
Yeah, I don't know how we get away with these like these situations where we don't do anything
We,
to miss the match, and we're like within the top
Well, here's
12.
the thing. Yeah, well, everyone else is killing each other, and we're just looting and chilling.
Yeah,
Like, I like the going to small village strategy because it just you don't need top tier guns all the time. You just need a gun.
right.
That's it. You only because if you were to survive to the top 10, you're gonna be right on top of each other. You don't need an AWP. You can get away with an UMP. You can get away with a shotgun. You can get away with certain things. And then, and at the end, at the very, very end, when it's just like the tiny, tiny, tiny circle.
We've got a plane incoming.
Yeah.
It's gonna drop right on top of us, isn't it?
I hope to God no. I didn't see it drop anything.
Yeah, me neither. Anyway, only got a couple minutes left, at least in this segment before we start wrapping things up. But we'll talk until the end of this match.
I mean, there could be chicken dinner.
Yeah, it could be chicken dinner, so we'll let it go.
Dude, we're also in the we're still in the zone. I think we just chill right here.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. I guess while we're on the topic of robots and AI, if you could make something autonomous to do whatever it is you wanted, what would it be? If you were Elon Musk, what would you say is, you've gone to space, you flew everyone to space.
Oh, the drop is here. It's right next to us.
Ah, tits.
Let's just stay here and camp anyone who gets it.
I don't see it. Where is it?
It's northwest, like directly northwest. It's beyond the two trees there at northwest.
Why can I not see it for some reason?
Turn around. The only reason I saw it is the parachute. The only reason I saw it is the
Ow!
Shit,
Fuck.
where'd you get shot from?
It's gotta be north.
No way.
Shoot, my underwear's bloody.
Nah, they're shooting the front of the car. That's exactly where you died.
Fuck.
I can't even loot your body. I don't think.
It's too dangerous.
I think it was actually southeast east. Just from where the bullet shots were.
Yeah, it must have been. I'm trying to look out.
I'm definitely gonna take your scope. Or
Yeah, take that AKM.
I'm gonna take that scar too. I have a ton of attachments for it too. I actually don't want the AKM. I want to keep the scar.
Oh boy, I'm trying to look out for you.
I know.
I don't
Oh,
see
I'm
anybody.
still in the circle.
Get that frying pan back on.
I'm
Cover
good.
your-
I'm good.
Cover your
I'm
ass.
good.
Cover your ass.
It's on. It's on. I got the frying pan. What kind of bullets does the scar use? Shit. I've only got like one round or one clip. Oh! I swear they make trees look like people on purpose.
I think they do. I think it's the darker coat. You're blending in better than my white ass and my white underwear.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
I don't see any. I don't even know where those shots came out that hit you. Just based off of the bullets that I saw bouncing off of the car. Whoa.
That's definitely north in that town. It's got to be.
Alright, well, they're fighting. I'm gonna go loot your body for more bullets.
Yeah, I had a couple. I don't know if I had that too much ammo for the SCAR, but I definitely had a lot for the AKM.
You had enough. Yeah, you have a shit ton of bullets for the AKM. But
Yeah,
I have a fully decked out and I actually kind of like it. It's got a flash hider.
Yeah, that'll be beneficial. Oh, there was something else I was listening to while we're kind of talking about like AI and the threat. Is that they're now using machine learning to combat security threats.
Hold on. Oh,
Whoops.
oh god. I hear gunfire. I just don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anybody yet. But they're now using machine learning to not only break into infrastructure and databases and do all sorts of offensive kind of like, I guess, hacks, I guess you could say, but they're using AI to defend against it. So it's almost...
Shh.
No, I want to talk.
I know, but there's gunfire like right near me and I can't hear. They're shooting at each other, but I can't see them. Oh, I see him. Is he dead? Shit, there's 6 other people left. Alright, sorry. I think they killed each other.
Yeah, they might have. Or at least one of them's dead.
One of them's dead.
It's closing in.
Wow, we were extremely lucky here. We could have survived forever. Go ahead, sorry. I'm so sorry for interrupting you. There was gunfight,
okay.
and it was like right next to me.
No, it's okay. I'm keeping an eye out too, but it was most recently, if you've heard of DEF CON, the convention.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to QuakeCon, but it's more like for hacking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like super informal, like real grassroots. Oh, dead ahead of you.
I see him.
Wait till he gets closer, though. Oh, you're
I'm
getting
shot though.
It's from. Oh, it's got to be behind you. No.
I couldn't see. I needed to kill Cam.
That's really tough.
That sucks. Team 4 though.
Yeah, but we did pretty good.
We did pretty good.
But yeah, DEF CON, they were using machine learning to have offensive hacking contests with each other. They were like literally hacking each other with AI, and that's going to be really important to cybersecurity more and more. But I guess with that, the risk goes that it doesn't take much for someone to rewrite a program that's already used for hacking and penetration testing to be offensive and malicious. But again, I don't think that's an autonomous thing. Like the program's not going to decide, you know what? I woke up today and I'm going to launch ransomware at a hospital.
I'm going to wake up and hack this. That would be AI. AI would be coming up with an idea all on its own with no prompt from a human.
Right.
It's just not how it works.
Yeah, it's just not what happens. But with that, we're just about at the time mark. Any closing statements on what we talked about?
Wait for Vega.
whenever it's coming out.
Double down. Wait for Vega.
Whenever it's coming out.
Whenever it comes out. Whenever.
Yeah.
It might be a paper launch. It might not actually be available until August. We won't know.
Right. But it'll be here eventually. And I guess I would just like to add that we're not looking at killer robots yet.
No.
Yet.
No T-100s, no T-800s, no T-1000s.
But I'm very excited for when it does start happening. I can't wait for the first Terminator murder to, hit up CNN. I'm waiting for those headlines.
Do you think that would be classified as an industrial accident?
I hope not. I hope it's homicide.
Instead of a homicide?
I hope they don't know what to do with it, and it starts all sorts of chaos where people just want to prosecute it one way and others want to do it another way, and then someone else in the corner is saying that's it, they're going to take our jobs. But it's a hitman. It's a hitman instead.
Hitman.
But yeah, that's all we got this week. We'll probably pick this up probably not next week, the week and a half. Until then, if you're at the end, subscribe to this channel. We'll be having more. Play some.
Give us a like. Give us a comment. Let us know what you liked, you didn't like.
Smash the motherfucking like button. And
smash that motherfucking Ethan Bradbury like button.
Exactly. And that's all we've got. See you guys.
See ya.